What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 9 of the Jay and Dro Show, the podcast where we talk about video games, news, random topics, whatever we kind of feel like talking about. I'm one of your hosts, Jay Lewis, and joining me today, as always, is Pedro Mirabal. How are you doing, good sir?
What's up, man? It's been a unusually smooth week this week, I think. Very good start to the month of August.
Yeah, I've had kind of a hectic week filled with lots of hours, but I'm making good money so I can buy lots of video games. So that's the good news. Quick shout out at the very beginning of this podcast. Over in our Facebook group, facebook.com/thesquaregamers, I just posted up a really dope video that IGN actually put up, like 2 days ago. Somehow I just now seen it. Shadow of War, battling creepy forest monsters in the story mission. Pedro, I saw that you commented on that. Did you see the video, bro?
Oh my god. I'm gonna leave it like that, actually. I think that's my whole reaction right there. Super excited. I'm glad you're getting hype about it too, man, because I'm telling you, this is my game of the year. Like, before it even comes out, I'm calling it right now. It's 2017 game of the year, bro.
Bro, I seeing early gameplay footage and stuff, I'm like, man, this looks kind of just like more of the same. But once I saw that video, and then they actually posted up another video that I also linked in the description, where he's using a wild drake and he's just assaulting this forest. He's mounted on this, like, it looks basically like a dragon if, nobody's familiar what a drake is. And he's just, like, letting fire rain down on the village. Did you see that?
Yeah, bro. The things that you're going to be able to do in this game are going to be very epic. It's we spoke about in a couple podcasts ago about games that are streamable. This game is definitely going to be a streamable game because you never know what cool stuff is going to happen.
Yeah, so go over to our group and check that out. I'll also link the videos in the description on our YouTube channel, so make sure if you're not listening to us there, go over to our YouTube channel, which is also the Square Gamers, if you want to check out these videos. And again, that was from IGN. So let's start the show the way we will always be starting the show from this point forward, Pedro, with our all-new segment titled Part of the Conversation, where we will go over our favorite news topic of the week. We each pick one. My favorite news article this week was the hyperbole that is the internet, where people are talking about this Destiny 2 limited edition controller. So I dropped you the picture, Pedro. What are your thoughts on this controller? Do you think that it's atrocious? Do you think people are being a little bit hyperbolic? What do you think?
I mean, when you dropped it, I thought it was something that you photoshopped, bro. I'm like, yo, this is wild. I don't understand why you need Destiny 2 in the little middle touchpad. Why you need the Destiny symbol and the number 2 on the left, the left part of the actual controller, and then on the right, that is the symbols for your Warlock, Hunter, and Titan. I don't know. They should have just left it white, to be honest with you, man. If they wanted to put the gold in there, put the gold accents maybe on the rubber bumpers on the bottom. Maybe your R1 and R2, L1 and L2 buttons are gold, and the thumbsticks will be gold. Maybe even make the thumb pad or the touchpad gold. But this legitimately looks like it's been photoshopped and memed out. Like, I don't believe that you're paying extra money for this.
Yeah, and a lot of people on the internet are saying that it looks like they literally just took some stickers and put it onto the controller, which is totally true. They're just these gold-looking, stickers, basically. There's no, like art on the controller at all. You don't get to see any of the familiar characters like kind of, painted into the controller. This looks like a really shitty attempt of putting out a custom Destiny 2 controller. And what's weird enough too is with the Destiny 2 Pro bundle that's coming out next month, this controller isn't part of that package. You just get the basic white controller. I don't know why they wouldn't have added this into that Destiny bundle. I'm kind of glad they didn't, because I agree with the internet. This is a pretty ugly controller, but just curious as to why they didn't make that part of the bundle. You think they would,
this
right?
isn't part of the bundle? This is like a separate controller you can buy?
Yeah, dude, this is not part of the bundle.
Oh my god.
It's just a completely separate. So that was a missed attempt there. Like, I can't believe they did that. But again, I'm not even mad at it because it's kind of hideous, man. And the placement of where they decided to put the little logos and insignia right where your hands like the rest, it just makes you wonder if over time that's gonna wear down. You think it'll wear down, or you think it's
hell yeah, it's gonna wear down. Hell yeah, it's gonna wear down. This should. I mean, look at it. This looks like lazy.
Yeah, it really did.
It looks super lazy, actually. So whomever was tasked to do this, I'm not gonna say they should be fired, but they need to talk.
So it sounds like it's a hard pass from you, and it's definitely a hard pass from me. Major failed attempt here. You got to do better than this, Sony. Like, seriously. And I don't know if it's on their end or if it's on Bungie's end. Whose end do you think that's on?
I'm assuming that's a Sony thing. I would think so, at least.
Classic Sony move?
No, this is not a classic Sony blunder, bro. I mean, they don't do well with accessories, period. But I'm not gonna put this on Sony. I mean, you have to put it on Sony because I just said it was a Sony thing. But I'm not going to say this is something that happens all the time.
Yeah. But, I saw this and I seen the internet's reaction, and I just wanted to get your take on it and just see if maybe somebody actually liked it. But I didn't like it. You don't like it. The internet's not liking. I don't see too many people that were actually going to bat for it. So, that was my story my what was it? News of the week. What's your news of the week, Pedro?
My news of the week is not gaming related this week, man. The Game of Thrones leaks, the HBO leaks in particular, man. Somebody basically ruined HBO's summer by getting every new series, every new season for the series that they have from the summer. So they've got, entire season of Insecure, entire season of Ballers, the entire season of Game of Thrones. They've already released this upcoming episode early. They also even released information for the CEO of HBO, what subscriptions he has, some credit card information as well. So this was a huge leak, and something that impacts us as consumers, especially those of us that pay for HBO, and people who love Game of Thrones, because now the internet is not a safe place to be if you're a Game of Thrones fan, because anybody could spoil it at any given time. Before it was, all right, Sunday, I'm doing something. Let me not get spoiled. Let me stay off the internet, maybe even Monday until I'm able to watch it. Now, you never know when someone's going to be like, oh my God, this person died. Or, oh my God, I can't believe these two people met. So, be careful out there, guys. It's a harrowing experience being online with people who, number one, don't care about pirating television shows, and number two, watch the same television show you're into.
Yeah, anytime that there's something that I really care about and I'm trying not to have it spoiled for myself, as soon as I see like a thumbnail that's like associated with the television show, comic, or game, I automatically look away. Or if I start reading a thread and it, the show or game name pops up, I'll just instantly look away. Like, this is one of those things where it is unfortunate that there's people out there that like to spoil things for people, but at the same time, it's the risk that you take, being on the internet. The internet can be when you're in the internet, you're out in the wild, dude, and you have no control over what people are going to do. So you have to be, proactive, and you have to automatically assume that when you're getting on these forums or, any kind of nerd culture that has anything to deal with, these types of things, you got to know that there's always going to be that one person out there that, for whatever reason, likes to spoil things for people. So just, always go in just knowing that there's those trolls out there and there's those people that get off at, trying to spoil things. And as far as these hackers, man, like, unfortunately, that's just, another ugly part of the internet. We see things like this all the time with hackers where, they do things that, a lot of us don't necessarily agree with. Like, think of the DDoS attacks that we see over, winter break every year. They like to do the DDoS attacks on PlayStation servers and take them offline so you can't play online games with your buddies. And, this is just more of that type of thing, man.
Yeah, man. Weren't you a victim of getting the Star Wars episode? What episode are we on right now? 8? Yeah, episode 8. Spoiled in the comments, bro. Were you the one that was telling me that you were reading a thread and some a-hole decided to put the big event that happened in the movie in the comments of a thread?
Yep, that was definitely me. And, again, it's one of those things that it's the risks that you take, and I knew it was a risk. And that's actually the thing that kind of like opened my eyes as to, okay, I got to start being a little bit more, cautious when entering these threads. And again, man, I almost feel like I did it to myself. And lesson learned, bro. I had to learn the lesson the hard way. And that's one of those things where it's like, you kind of know what was going to happen in episode 8 anyways, but to kind of see it just put out there in the comments and have it ruined really, really sucked. And, I learned my lesson. And that's one of those things, just always be cautious, dude. And so, like, is it entire episodes that are now on the internet? Like, you can literally just go and watch future episodes?
Yeah, you can watch the episode of this week's episode early online right now.
That is wild, bro. Like, and this isn't the first time that the Game of Thrones, has been leaked, right? It's happened in the past?
Yeah, it happened 2 seasons ago, and they actually leaked the first 4 episodes. I have friends that watched those first 4 episodes, and they were in like 480p, so it wasn't the best of quality either. So they kind of had to watch the show twice to be able to get, that type of, to get the full experience of watching Game of Thrones. This one looks like it's in high definition quality though. So for anyone that's interested, you should be able to pirate that in full HD right now. At least that's what I see according to my my Instagram feed of people who are taking pictures with the Game of Thrones or videos with the Game of Thrones intro on some Why Wait for Sunday when you can watch it right now. And that is when I turned off my Instagram and went into a corner and sobbed because now I can't do I can't peruse the internet without having that in my face.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, what's kind of fun about, television series is, watching the episodes week by week and then kind of hopping on the threads and having conversations about it. And, this kind of effectively a little bit kind of ruins that, because there's a lot of people that are already watching those episodes. Conversations are already being had, so it kind of sucks, man.
Yep, definitely. The biggest difference between HBO and Netflix is Netflix is basically an all-you-can-eat type or all-you-can consume type of a service, where HBO is more appointment viewing, where, let's say, so I got 20 things to do, but they need to get done before, 8 o'clock Sunday, so then I can be, I can shower or whatever and eat and be ready for 9 o'clock to watch Game of Thrones. And now that's all out of whack for a lot of people.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I really hate about the Game of Thrones. It doesn't air till, what is it, 10 o'clock?
It's 9 o'clock Eastern.
Oh, 9 o'clock. Yeah, and I got to be in bed by like 8 to get up for work. So I'm always catching the episodes a day later to begin with. Sometimes not even a day later. In fact, I haven't even watched the last episode of Game of Thrones yet. We're actually watching it tonight. Man, this season is outstanding, bro. I really, really enjoy how the first few episodes have rolled out. You liking this season so far?
Hell yeah, man! It's very fast paced. Everything, like, time is moving at a much faster rate. And the reason is we're only, 4 episodes in now, so we're only 9 episodes. We only have 9 episodes left of the series, so things are gonna start progressing at a rapid pace. And I think that's why a lot more people rather enjoy this, because there aren't those fluff episodes. Like, something important happens every episode that leaves you wanting more. So that's pretty cool.
That's right. Bro, is Jon Snow gonna give the mother dragons the D, bro?
I hope not, because that is effectively his aunt.
Yeah, I know, but bro, there's a lot of incest going on in this show, man.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, I don't want, without spoiling anything, dude. There's been a lot of incest in this show, but
man,
I know a lot of people
last week's episode.
Oh man, yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out tonight. Great topic, though. I hope everyone enjoyed the all-new segment. Again, we're going to be doing this weekly. If you have a topic that you'd like to hear us, kind of talk about, a news topic that you'd like to hear us talk about, put it in our Facebook group. Again, that's facebook.com/thesquaregamers. Now it's time to get into the topic of the week, and this week's topic is Games of August. Bro, like, this list is incredible. One might say that this is the most amazing month in video game history. I've been seeing that being thrown around the internet quite a bit. For this episode, or for this topic, we're going to head over to Polygon.com, where they put together a great list. It was written by James Elliott. We're going to be citing the exact article. So again, that's Polygon.com. And I'll drop this list in our group on Facebook, as well as link it in the video on YouTube. So if you want to check the list out for yourself. So starting August 2nd, first game coming out in August, which is actually already out while we're recording this episode. Tacoma is headed to Mac OS, Windows PC, and Xbox One. Oh, I don't know why I don't have it listed on PS4. This is on PS4 as well. So, like Gone Home, Tacoma's a story about people. Fulbright co-founder Steve Gaynor told Polygon last year, "It's about these 6 people who have been thrown into the situation, and about how crisis can pull them together or push them apart. How much details you find out about who they are and what they went through is really up to you as the player." Pedro, what's your thoughts on Tacoma? You gonna check it out?
Tacoma's a super interesting title, simply because this was something that was supposed to be early on an Xbox One exclusive, and turned out to be an Xbox One timed exclusive. So Windows PC, Mac OS, and Xbox One will get the game first, and then later on the PS4 will get the title as well. Actually, I think it's like a week or maybe a couple days difference. Like, you get it on August 2nd on Xbox One, and then if you're a PS4 owner, you get it like the next week. So the game is super interesting.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I thought it was on PS4 right now. Oh, thanks for correcting me.
That's definitely that's one of those that were like first on Xbox One, and then the that whole mumbo jumbo that they tried to give us at E3. I'm super glad that the game has come out. This game looks pretty interesting. It is like Gone Home, so there is no action. It's just more of you kind of uncovering the story. I'm not in that space at the moment when it comes to the games I want to play. So I will play it eventually, probably when it like goes on sale or something. But for right now, I think this game is going to be a little slow for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm right there with you. The game is sitting pretty. IGN, reviewed it. It's sitting at a 8.5. Like obviously it's a great game. But like you just said, it's kind of less action and more dialogue oriented, which is fine. Like I can get into games like that. But the sci-fi setting, it just really isn't for me. I think it's going to be a great game, and if you are into sci-fi games, especially story-driven narratives, like I definitely think this is a game for you to check out. Pedro, why don't you take August 8th?
For August 8th, we've got a trio of games. Ark Survival Evolved. I know that's a game that you've been playing around with for a little while now, correct? I think it was out in Steam's early access in June 2015 and quickly became one of PC gaming's hottest titles. Now, as the team at Studio Wildcard prepares for a full commercial release, Ark's price jumped to $59.99 from $29.99. And it looks like it's going to be on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One as well. A lot of people are wondering why it went from $30 to $60, $30 being early access. Did you pay for the $30 for the early access of this game?
No, so when I was playing it was just on Steam early access in beta form for free. I didn't play the I guess what you would call it fleshed out early access full game. Like I just played like the beta because I wanted to know what it was about basically. Okay. Because I'm huge into 7 Days to Die because I love that kind of base building aspect, and you have to gather resources to survive, and then this had a cool mechanic where you could proactively, raise dinosaurs and then mount them and use them. I just wanted to see what the game's hook was all about. And then I did some research. It appears that the game is a lot more grindy than I anticipated. And sometimes I do enjoy a grindy game, but as I get older and, have a lot of commitments to doing things of that nature, it's harder to get into these grindy games like I used to in the past. So, really cool game, especially if you are into those kind of tower defense sort of games where you build up this fort and you kind of defend it against people trying to destroy it and loot all your stuff. So it has a really fun hook to it, and it's a MMO, so it's got all that. So if you're into MMOs, I think you'll really like this game.
After Ark Survival Evolved, we've got Lawbreakers that drops on PS4 and Windows PC. This game is a arena shooter where the characters defy gravity. It's in the vein of it's made by the Gears of War creator, but it's in the vein of, I forgot what that game was called now. It escaped me. It is in the vein of, why did I forget that? Anyway, it is $29.99 because Cliff Bleszinski says he doesn't want to do any of that $60 multiplayer only BS, which is awesome. So this looks like a pretty cool game to try out if you're into arena shooters, kind of like Overwatch and things like that. Graphically, it looks great. It is a PS4 exclusive, although there are talks that it is coming to the Xbox One at some point with crossplay between Windows PC and Xbox. So we'll be looking for that, for news on that fairly soon. And then for me, August 8th means the release.
Hold on, before you move on from that, I want to just get your take on Cliff Bleszinski's quote here saying none of that $60 bullshit. Like what do you feel about that? Him taking shots at other developers for having these multiplayer $60 games. Do you like it? Do you feel like he was out of line a little bit? I like it, dude. Way to have a set of balls.
But it's true though. I mean,
yeah, it really is.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that games like Evolve, that didn't need to be $60 because it's a multiplayer only game. Didn't give you a single player experience. If you're gonna give us half the game, make it half the price, and that's what he did.
Yep, I like it.
So, but moving on from that, Telltale Batman the Telltale series season 2 episode 1 drops that same day, and to me that is the biggest release in August 8th, and that is going to be The Enemy Within. That is an episode around the Riddler and the Joker. Should be pretty cool, should be very tense from the videos and the trailers that I've seen. Super excited about that. Looks like we'll be playing more as Batman in this episode, at least. So I am.
And a little disclaimer. If you are kind of going over this list as you're listening to this podcast, for whatever reason that game wasn't listed here, but Pedro, being a big enough Batman fan, was able to sneak it in there. For some reason, it wasn't listed though. So.
Yeah. I had to sneak that in there because Polygon may not give the Batman and Telltale series the respect it deserves, but god damn it, I will. What's coming out August 15th?
August 15th, we're going to be seeing this game that nobody is talking about. Agents of Mayhem. It's going to be coming to the PlayStation 4, Windows PC, and Xbox One. Agents of Mayhem is meant to be a clean break from the Saints Row series, but it also builds on Volition's expertise and over-the-top, open-world, third-person shooter characters who feel superhuman. Also, it's full of goofy jokes. And it just says to read their feature of Agents of Mayhem right here in the article. So they have a link to Agents of Mayhem. Bro, nobody's talking about this game. What's going on, bro? You hyped for Agents of Mayhem? I don't really know much about it, to be quite honest. They haven't done much to promote the game. What's your thoughts?
I'm not really hype about it. I haven't really heard too much about it either. This looks like it's going to be a game that's going to be buried, amongst the rest of them. Hopefully it comes out at a decent price and not a full $60. This may be a game that, like, if I see it come up on Redbox, I'll Redbox it. I do like the over-the-top perspective. I think that's pretty, you don't see that very often. In AAA games. Well, this isn't AAA game. What's this, like a single A, double A game? I guess Violation isn't a
I think it's like mid tier.
Okay,
yeah,
it's not an indie game by any means, but it's not a AAA game either. So for a mid tier game to have an over the top, point of view, I think is pretty cool. You usually see that in some of the indie games that are out there.
Yeah, and I wasn't big into the Saints Row series as well, so yeah, not really big into the studio overall, but that's just my opinion. Also coming out is Nidhogg 2. It's coming out to Mac OS, PlayStation 4, and Windows PC. So the original Nidhogg was fairly minimalistic, making two fencers try to reach opposing sides of the map. That's not the case in Nidhogg 2. The sequel has the same goals and also features like stomping your opponents to death, kicking weapons from their hands, and incredibly colorful, surreal backdrops. And then they have a 20-minute video featured. So this game's also in PSVR. Is that correct? Because they don't have it listed here.
I'll double check that for you.
I'm pretty sure it is. I listened to IGN's Beyond podcast, and they were talking about how Nidhogg 2 and PSVR is like the definitive experience. Hopefully I'm thinking of the correct game, so do note that. I'm pretty sure it's in PSVR, unless Pedro corrects me. They did speak very highly of the game on the Beyond podcast. It's something that I likely won't check out. I'm not really into fencing for the most part. This is a smaller title. This is kind of like an indie title, so this isn't anything AAA. So what's your thoughts on Nidhogg 2?
Definitely not interested in Nidhogg 2. I'm also not seeing anything on for PSVR at the moment. I'm reading it from the PlayStation blog. So, I don't think this is a PSVR game.
Okay, so maybe I'm wrong about that. Also coming out is this game I haven't heard of. It's called Observer. It's coming to Linux, Mac OS, PlayStation 4, Windows PC, and Xbox One. And it says, quote, "What would you do if your fears got hacked and used against you?" End quote. So basically it says something horrific takes place in Eastern European cyberpunk universe. Quote, "We're focusing on deep narrative and environmental storytelling." End quote. You play as a detective, an observer, and use your skills to scan the environment and hack players' fears. And that quote was from developer... oh man, I can't say this name, bro. What is it? Rafal? How would you say that? Rafael,
I guess.
Yeah. Basaj, Basaj. Sorry, I'm really bad at pronouncing names. But dude, what do you think about an Eastern European cyberpunk universe where, your fears are hacked and used against you, bro? How dope does that sound?
It does sound pretty cool. It looks It's very from looking at the trailer and the little gameplay. I think it's you're in dark corridors. You're scanning your surroundings. It doesn't look like you're doing much action at the moment. I'm not sure what exactly. Is this like a survival horror game? Is this what this is? Weird.
From the little thumbnail that I'm seeing here, it does look like it has like a dark, creepy aesthetic to it. Something horrific takes place. So yeah, I'm assuming there's probably some horror elements to it. And what's cool too is like, cyberpunk, bro. Like I love the aesthetic in cyberpunk. Like as a medium, like I love books and comics and stuff. I love the aesthetic. I love like the brass colors and how everything looks pretty futuristic and stuff. And surprisingly, we don't get a lot of cyberpunk games. I think that that's something like maybe next year we'll probably start to see a lot of them, like a lot of cyberpunk games come out. But I'm kind of hyped for this, honestly. I don't know much about it, but from what it sounds like, it'll definitely be a game that I check out.
Yeah, I mean, again, to me that's gonna depend on the price of the game. I'm assuming this is gonna be a PlayStation Store, or Xbox One download, or digital download type thing. So, $10-15 shouldn't be too bad. $20, something like that.
Yeah. And then also coming out August 15th. Bro, August 15th is lit, bro. This is the one that's kind of got the internet on fire. Sonic Mania coming to the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Windows PC, and Xbox One. It's basically a throwback that fans have been asking for, bro. I'm not going to read this whole, what is it, like 3 paragraphs here, but, anyone that's a Sonic fan, this is the game that they've been waiting for. Nathan Hodge in the group, our actual artist, he's super stoked for the game. I personally am not a Sonic fan. I never have been. The only Sonic games that I've ever played, I played Sonic on the Game Gear, and I played it on the Sega Genesis. And I hated it then, and I continue to not be a fan. Now, I don't really see the point, like, you have very little control over your character, and, like, when you die in the game, I always feel like it's cheap because, like, it's all about kind of memory and like knowing what to expect ahead of time. So it's a lot of trial and error, and it's one of those games that kind of like frustrates me and makes me want to rage quit, and that's not really why I play video games. What's your experience with the Sonic franchise? Are you a fan? Are you not a fan?
I'm definitely not a fan of Sonic. I don't like it at all. I think that it tried to compete with Mario back in the day, and Mario blows it out of the water. That's not even a question. I'm not really sure why we want yet another Sonic, remaster, remake, a return to form. We've had tons of these. People seem to continue to buy the same thing over and over and over again. And I mean, as a gaming community, we gotta stop. Like, this is...
Yeah, we really got to... I really just don't understand what the fandom is all about and why so many people get behind the game. But nonetheless, it's coming out and a lot of people are hype, and I'm happy for you that you got a new Sonic game to play. So I hope you enjoy it. I'm actually going to take August 22nd because I want Pedro to talk about the game coming out on the 25th. So August 22nd... we're going to see Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. It's a PlayStation 4 exclusive. And a lot of people are hyped for this one, man, because it's only got a $40 price tag, but Naughty Dog is promising that this is basically a full retail game that they could theoretically charge $60 for. And, they're only charging $40. And are you hyped for this, Pedro? Are you going to get down on The Lost Legacy?
I mean, to be honest with you, after looking into it and after seeing kind of what the previews were after a couple of other big video game personalities kind of checked it out, I'm more interested in it now than I was before. I thought it was just a late DLC to come out for Uncharted 4, but this looks like it's going to be a full-fledged Uncharted experience, centered around two different characters that aren't Drake. Supposedly they're going to explain why Drake is on vacation and not in the game. And then they're going to delve more into the two personalities of these two female characters and kind of what their motivation is to work together. Of course, we already know Uncharted 4, aside from Horizon, in my opinion, is, the biggest reason, why you should, if someone were to tell me why you should get into this generation of games, and I say, okay, cool. So, you've got Sony and PlayStation. They've got, they can make you can make a game with amazing graphics, et cetera, et cetera. One of the games that I would show is Uncharted 4, because it's beautiful. And I think that with the Lost Legacy, you're going to see, them taking that, to another level.
Yes, and this is like a major departure from the Uncharted series. We learned that Uncharted 4 would be Nathan Drake's last adventure. Like, he's the main character in the game, and that was his last game. So this is, again, complete departure. It has a fully female cast in this, so you're not going to see Sully, or you're not going to see Nathan Drake's brother in this one. So who is it? Elena, and who's the other chick?
I forgot what her name.
Regardless, it's an all-female cast in this game, so those are things to factor in. And then in this little article, it was just saying that people that were worried about the game, he had some hands-on time here, and he was liking what he was seeing. So yeah, I'll definitely be checking that game out. I love, action adventure games. I've always loved the Uncharted franchises. You kind of get in and get out in like 18 hours. Like, that's a sweet spot for me. I'm hearing that this game is a little shorter though. I think clock time is about 8 to 10 hours. So that is super perfect for me, man. Not every game has to be this 60-hour experience. And for a $40 price tag, I definitely think it'll be worth it. But August 25th, Pedro, let me know what's coming out.
Cool. Just a quick note on that. It is Chloe Frazier and Nadine Ross, which are the protagonists of this game. Madden NFL 18 drops on August 25th, and it comes with a dope new feature called Long Shot. The story will revolve around a former college star named Devin Wade. He's been out of football for several years. Wade will struggle to find a way back into pro football and fulfill his dreams. Long Shot makes the first appearance for colleges, marks the first appearance for colleges in an EA Sports video game since the label canceled NCAA football series in 2013. And settled a lawsuit brought by former players. That's super cool as well, man. We're going to see more colleges. You can be able to play college football. I'm thinking this is going to end up being more like the Kurt Warner story, where, the guy has a successful college career, but then, football just doesn't work out for him, so he's doing other things. In Kurt Warner's story, he was actually bagging groceries before he came back to football to play on the greatest show on turf for the St. Louis Rams, win a Super Bowl there, and then continue his career as a backup for Eli Manning and the Giants, and then eventually going to Arizona, becoming a starter there and leading them to a Super Bowl where they eventually lost in Pittsburgh. I got a feeling that this is essentially how Devin Wade's story is going to go, where he may be doing, working at like a local grocery store or a local mom and pop shop, and then, his family or something like that pushes him to pursue his dream to become a football player, and you kind of, play through his rise to stardom from, meager beginnings. Super excited,
dude. Yeah, and like whenever I see conversations being had about Madden, people are saying like, what reason do I have to upgrade? It's a yearly franchise that comes out every year, and they make minimal like tweaks to the game, but yet they want me to pay $60. This is the reason to come to the franchise. Like, if they start doing things like this every year, giving you these stories of these players, like, I think that's a super smart idea. And, like, as somebody who is, like, on the outside looking in, like, I love football. For some reason, it's never really translated to where I want to go play a football game, on a video game. But it's things like this that make me start to question, like, man, I might actually check out Madden this year. It'll be something that I take a wait and see approach on and see if that, the story ends up being good. And if the reviews come in strong, man, I'm actually going to check it out. And I think it's a very, very smart move on their behalf and a reason to get people to come back year after year.
Yeah, man, I think that this is going to be... combine this with the actual improvements to the gameplay. It looks like they're going more towards the old school NCAA momentum-based gameplay, where you string a couple plays together and the momentum goes to your side, or you can take the momentum away from the other team. Especially since Tom Brady's on the cover, and what happened at the Super Bowl where Atlanta had all the momentum going into the fourth quarter,
right.
And they took the wind. The Patriots took the wind out of their sails and came out that game with a legendary win. I think that game's going to be super cool. Last year's Madden was integral for the series because TV networks actually took the way Madden presented the football game and added it to the way they present actual football games on television. So now Fox uses the augmented reality to kind of put informational panels on the field as gameplay is going on, which is super cool.
I love it, bro. They got the GOAT on the cover, so we'll see if this year's Madden will be the GOAT as well. So look for that one on August 25th. August 29th, we have a new little game coming out called Absolver. It's a PlayStation 4 and Windows PC exclusive. It's a hand-to-hand fighting game where players collect moves over time and then string them together to create personalized fighting styles. The development team itself had a few members that are very deeply into mixed martial arts, and the animation shows it. Absolver even takes player stances into account, and every move in the game considers which direction the player starts off fighting in. So when I read about this game, because I had no idea what it was, I'm sitting there reading it and I'm thinking, man, my brother would totally get into this game. So for those of you that don't know, just started watching or listening to the show, my brother, he's a fighter in the UFC, Platinum Mike Perry. Some of you may know him. I think he would like this game. What do you think?
Oh, hell yeah, I think you would like this game. This game's super interesting, actually, man. I want to try it out and see how the fighting mechanics actually work. The fact that, like, this is one of those games where you could, where you kind of start off with just basically, I would assume just a basic punch kick, and then you earn a move set as you go along, and you kind of mix it into your game. It's super cool because it's essentially virtualizing what it is to become an actual mixed martial arts fighter. And I think that's super cool.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm not that big into fighting games. I often get my butt kicked in them. But you saying that you would want to check this game out kind of makes me want to get it. And maybe me and you can do some streams together. Do you know, is this like a mid-tier game or is this a full $60 retail? Do you know?
That I'm not sure of at the moment. Actually, let's check that out and see.
Yeah, because that could be something like really, really fun to stream together, bro. And I would really dig. We could even get my brother involved, dudes. See what he thinks about it. Because the fact that it says here that some of the members that are deeply into mixed martial arts got into the game. So they got some people that are on the team that are actually into martial arts. So that's dope.
So the game is actually $29.99, but since I'm a PlayStation Plus member, save 10%, which makes it $26.99. And this is also from Devolver Digital.
Bro, maybe we'll do a little indecent exposure on this game, man. Maybe we could do a little review on it.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. We might have to do that.
Yeah, we might have to see what's going on with that.
And then the next game coming out, August 29th, is a huge title headed over to the Nintendo Switch as an exclusive, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. So basically, in a nutshell, the game plays like XCOM, but with French minions and a Roomba and Mario. What the hell's a Roomba, bro?
I don't know. I'm not into the Rabbids lore.
It says the game involves a party comprising characters from the Rabbids and Mario canon adventure through a Mario-styled world. It's got 2 phases, exploration and turn-based RPG battles. It's being developed by Ubisoft with collaboration from Nintendo. They have an 8-minute video that kind of shows off the game here on Polygon.com. Yeah, a lot of people are stoked for this game, man. It's one of those games that kind of came out of nowhere. Not too many people have cared about Rabbids in the past, but apparently this XCOM-esque type of Nintendo game with your favorite Mario characters involved has a lot of people hyped, man. A lot of the podcasts that I'm listening to over on IGN and Kind of Funny, everyone's hyped for this, man. Again, we're not the biggest Nintendo guys. But if you are
on the picture that we're looking at, you see the little fucking like circular looking machine with the like bunny ears on it?
The little ears.
Bro, that's the Roomba. The Roomba, like the mechanical vacuum. Oh my god. Yo, that's so funny.
Leave it to Nintendo, bro. Oh, jeez. All right, so what do you got coming out August 31st, Pedro?
August 31st, man, to end the month of August, ending it strong with Life is Strange Before the Storm. People are super hype about this game, man. A lot of people are waiting for this one. This is gonna focus on two characters from 2015's Life is Strange, Chloe Price and her best friend Rachel Amber. Before the Storm will have 3 chapters, unlike the 5-episode Life is Strange, which is developed by Parisian studio Don't Nod Entertainment. Before the Storm is made by Deck 9 Games, and that's actually in Denver. So this is going to be a smaller game, but it'll definitely revolve around kind of the relationship between Chloe and Rachel, and this is before Life is Strange, so this is kind of like a prequel to kind of explain where the main character is before the game, before you meet her in the original Life is Strange. And then we get Resident Evil Revelations.
One second. I was going to say, before you do that, wasn't it last podcast where you were recommending Life is Strange, the original?
Yes.
All right, cool. So this will be the follow-up to that. So I'm definitely going to check out the first one and give you my thoughts in a future podcast. But continuing on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, yes, play... actually, well, since this is a prequel, I guess you should play this one and then Life is Strange, but,
Ooh, might have to do that.
Yeah, they're doing
Maybe I'll grab Rachel. We'll grab some popcorn and some wine, bro, and just chill and hash out both those games in one night, bro. That would be fun.
Bro, do that. Make that a date night. Make that happen.
Yeah, dude. I like that idea.
Then come back and tell us about it.
Will do.
And then we've got Resident Evil Revelations. This one drops on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. This one is going to star series veterans Jill Valentine and Chris Redfield. This is set between the events of Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 5. Revelation sends players to an abandoned cruise ship, the Queen Zenobia, and the city of Terra Grigia, where they uncover the truth about the T-Abyss virus and stop to attempt a terrorist group from infecting the Earth's oceans. Hopefully this game plays like a Resident Evil 4 or Resident Evil 7, and they continue the role that the Resident Evil series is on right now and doesn't take a step back.
Yeah, okay, so I saw this, and I'm being pulled in so many different directions, bro, because when I hear that it's taking place between the events of 4 and 5, I'm thinking, oh god, 4, one of my favorite horror games of all time, actually one of my favorite games of all time, probably my top 5 easily. Okay, so I'm hyped for that. But then when I hear that it takes place on a ship, the Queen Zenobia, like, that's where I have a little bit of a hang up, bro, because when I was playing the last Resident Evil, very good game, but the weakest part of the game is where this whole level takes place on this ship, and oh man, it really took me out of the immersion. It's just like uninspired level design, in my opinion, and everything just looks kind of blah. All you see is these grays, tight corridors. You can't really do very many interesting things to the environment when you're stuck on a ship. Hopefully this game proves me wrong, but as soon as I saw that it was on a ship, I was like, oh, what a bummer.
Yeah, I agree. It does look a little dreary. It is only $19.99 though, so... They're not charging you for full price here.
Definitely would be worth the investment there, in my opinion. And I do plan on picking it up, and I will be doing a full review on the channel look for that. So look for that in the future. So very cool lineup of games here. Pedro, what do you think that August stands up in terms of, being a great month, dude? Is this not fucking killer?
I'm not going to say it's one of the best months of all time, but it's definitely by far the best month of this year. I mean, every week you've got a game that you could invest your money into.
What's the standout game for you?
I mean, Telltale, the Batman series, definitely is going to be the game that I'm super excited for. I'm waiting for Tuesday of next week to come already. Looking at this, you've got Tacoma to start the month off. You've got, Batman the Telltale series. Agents of Mayhem is also something that's very intriguing, on the 15th. I'm not really into Sonic Mania, but that looks like it's a game that's gonna sell. This is gonna be a tough month to see what game is gonna come out on top on the NPD numbers, man. I'm gonna assume it's Uncharted because it's really the only AAA game. Madden sells really well during this time, so I mean it's gonna be. In my opinion, I think if we're gonna make predictions onto what's gonna sell the best, I'm gonna go Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I'm gonna go Uncharted, and I'm gonna go Madden for the top 3 games, with Life is Strange and Batman the Telltale series rounding out the top
5. For your top 3, the only thing that I would do is I would change Madden selling better than Uncharted, just due to the fact that it's multi-console, whereas Uncharted is locked behind the PlayStation 4 exclusive window. So yeah, I'm going to go with... Rabbids. So Mario plus Rabbids is number 1. Then I'm going to have Madden NFL 18 number 2. And then Uncharted The Lost Legacy at number 3. People are starving for things to play on that Switch, bro. So anything that comes out has been crushing it, bro. Like the numbers of ARMS, bro. Did you hear how many copies of that game sold?
Yeah, I think they're doing a good job of spacing out their big titles, man, and they're feeding the public, slowly and steadily. But I think they're doing a good job to where even a game like ARMS is just being snapped up.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, again, great list of games. We're running along here, so let's close the show out. Next week, we're going to come with a new segment to close out the show. We're not going to do that this week since we ran a little long, but look forward to next week, our closing segment, which we're going to call One's Gotta Go, where we pick some items, that are beloved, overall perceived very well, and then we kind of dogfight them, and then one of them or maybe even multiple have to go. So look forward to that next week. To close out the show, I just want to pimp out our Facebook group one more time, facebook.com/The Square Gamers, and over on YouTube, we are The Square Gamers. Pedro, thank you for joining me again for another episode of the Jay and Dro Show. Anything that you'd like to plug before we get out of here?
Yeah, man, congratulations to your brother Platinum Mike Perry on his co-main event look for his fight September 16th in Pittsburgh against Thiago Alves. That's a dope fight. Make sure to go on the Facebook group, hit him up, let him know you'll be watching. He appreciates all of that support.
Yeah. As they say over in the Kind of Funny world, send them that sweet, nasty love. But, thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next week for episode number 10 of the Jay and Dro Show. Later.
Peace.